Steve Martin here. It's been a long summer. Actually, it's went really fast, but winter is fast approaching and it's new snowmobile day. No, my turbo didn't show up yet, but I had an epiphany last year. I went to snowshoot and it's like musical chairs on snowmobiles. All the manufacturers are there, all the publications are there, so we get to ride everything. And I spent a lot of time on a 2025 Summit X naturally aspirated, and I cannot believe how much fun I was having. So I've rode naturally aspirated snowmobiles for a long time, but kind of forgot how fun they are. Since 2011, we've been running aftermarket turbos. So I would come in, I'm here at Addicted Power Sports in Evanston, Wyoming. This is where I come for all my parts if I crash a snowmobile in the trees. This is where I come to get it fixed. But I used to buy brand new SP for around $13,000. I'd put an $8,000 turbo on it, and I put $4,000 shocks on it. I'm no mathematician, but that's a lot more than a new turbo snowmobile, because I'm seeing all these comments on the internet of why is this snowmobile so expensive? It's too expensive to get into. Well, I'm going to show you a cheaper option that is just as capable. I've already called down. No, it's not this beautiful black Expert. It's this bad boy here, a 2024 Summit Adrenaline with the Edge package. It's a 165. I'm going to be riding a 146 turbo. I'll have a 154 turbo, so let's get the most capable, naturally aspirated mountain sled available. So it's the Edge package, has a short tunnel, 3-inch track, small bars, 34-inch front end, DS3 skis. These are non-rebuildable shocks. That's one big difference, but they do have the Summit X valving in it, and they have stamped running boards, which I've really come to love the X package running boards, but we're on a budget this year. So I'm really excited about it. I've already called these guys. I don't know what I'm paying for it yet, but it's a holdover, and I think there's some rebates available. It's gonna be awesome. It's the cameraman's Can-Am here. What's happening?
What's going on, boss?
How much?
Coming to pick up the new sled, huh?
Yep. How much is it?
Right there, $13,500.
Is this my price or anyone's price?
Nope, that is anybody that walks in our door wanting an NA sled.
So if anyone sees this video, comes in here, this is how much it's going to cost to put in their truck.
Price right there, yep.
See, that's a crazy good deal. I'm telling you, in 2018, this is what I was paying for a snowmobile. That's far less than the $21,000 that you see on people, crying about on the internet. And I get it. If you want to be a turbo guy, then that's what you want. But we're going to show you this year how capable this snowmobile is. I'll be doing circles around my dad on this thing. So let's go check it out. All right, I ordered a couple parts for this crazy build. So Mac already has them out for me. So I'm calling here a lot. I usually find my own part numbers, but it's nice to have great service and parts people that they can find the part numbers, because it seems obvious, but every last thing on a Ski-Doo snowmobile has a part number. So if we have to find something, she can find it for me. I have some crash parts in here from last year and some parts for that new sled. So they're all in here? Cool, thank you. All right, we got the sled back in the shop. This is actually my dad's work bay. He works here a couple days a week, and when in the winter, it doesn't work here a lot because we're riding a lot. But so we might as well just do it here at the Ski-Doo dealership. So the first thing I'm going to do is, a big thing that I've hammered in the past is set the snowmobile up for you. There are a ton of options. They have the small diameter handlebars. They even have a slimmer throttle available for if you have really small hands, and then a huge array of handlebar risers. And I used to race snowcross with a flat bar, so I'm really accustomed to a really short riser. I am 5'5", but really play around with risers and setting the bars up and the snowmobile up for you. These are ZRP handlebar risers. They're a 3-inch. The shortest Ski-Doo goes is 3.7, and I really like that riser. I just like this a little better. And even the 4.7 riser that comes on the Freeride and the Summit X and the Expert, a little too tall for me. I'm just used to this. So part of this crazy build we're doing today, putting these risers on. Okay, and I have one more thing that goes with this. It's over here. This is a Ski-Doo bar pad. They're really cheap, inexpensive rather. It makes it look really cool. It reminds me of the like the Theme Motorsports snowcross sleds or the factory hill climb guys. That's why the mountain bar is handy. I'm going to give you that. Sometimes I wish I had it. I just think this looks like a race sled now. With these low bars from my height and the bar pad. It's just a cool look. Looks like really changed the look of it already. The thing is ready to rip. We just need a bunch of snow. So let's do the next thing. I just bought one more part. We're going crazy. I'd only bought one other thing to add to this before we ride it for the first time. And the only other thing we'll do, we will refer to the spec sheet and we'll show you that as well. The spec sheet is Ski-Doo's pointers for setting up the calibration for the clutches for our elevation. I normally ride 8 to 11,000 feet, and it will tell you exactly how to adjust the clutch so it revs 8,000 RPM everywhere. No matter what you're buying, if you're buying a Neo, 850, a 600, 850 turbo, refer to the spec sheet, have your dealer do that before you pick it up. But we're going to do the next thing. And this is what I do to every one of my snowmobiles, and it's not for everyone. If you have a lot of icy trail, they come with this carbide installed, which if you have icy trail, for it to turn needs carbide, but I don't have a lot of icy trail, and these trash my garage floor, and I'm usually riding when there's not enough snow, so they catch on rocks and could potentially do damage to the snowmobile. So I always run these Woody's hard weld runners, no carbide on them. I usually get about half a season, so I'll go through 2 sets a season, but they're cheap. They're like 50 bucks, and then they're not marking up my garage floor. So I'm going to zip these on real quick. And obviously super easy install. I already took the other ones off. 13 millimeter. That's all you need to take them on and off. And now our garage floor will stay nice. Cool. And then one more thing, and then our build is complete. But it's going to be sweet. Have the tools ready. So this is another thing similar to the handlebar situation. It's personal preference. I get rid of the sway bar. I have a hard time side hilling it, and I think it's more predictable with a sway bar end link removed. And on my normal sled, I usually just remove the entire sway bar from the snowmobile for a couple reasons. A little lighter, and this is all genuine Ski-Doo hardware, so I take it all off and we put them in bins and use them if we need it. But they also make a removable end link that no tools are required. The Freeride comes standard with it. So that's a cool option if you had a lot of trail you had to ride, and because we are going to lose some, I'll call it trail performance. It's going to have a lot of roll, but it's going to be much more predictable in the side hill. And this isn't for everyone. I'm like, it's something you're going to have to get used to, but I'm so used to not having one that I'll never go back to using a sway bar, at least in the near future. But it does change the way the front end feels. Now that we don't have the end link, particularly in a side hill, it's going to feel a lot softer because as the left side's going through its travel, it's not trying to pull the right side up anymore. So essentially we have a lot softer spring preload now. So get real scientific with it here. This tool comes right out of the oil door, and I'm just going to crank them all the way up. Boom. I normally run, the Freeride has 50% stiffer valving. The new Expert has KYB Pro 36s with the external adjuster. We don't have any external adjustment on the shock itself, but I can put that preload on there, and that's going to be really good for what we're doing with this snowmobile, which is just having fun, my adventure snowmobile. So let's set it on the floor. We'll go over some features of the Adrenaline with Edge package. And here it is. It's all set up. This is how we're going to ride it initially. Took the sway bar end link off, has the hard welds on it, bars set up for my height, and I'm really excited to ride it. This is the Adrenaline with Edge package. So one more time, it has a 34-inch front end, has a short tunnel like a Summit X, has the small ergonomically correct handlebars, but it's non-turbo. But I think everyone has been sleeping on these things. They're still 165 horsepower. This is a serious mountain sled. Going with a 165 3-inch track, this is probably the easiest snowmobile to ride in technical terrain. It's very predictable. It's not going to wheelie out of control like a 154 turbo, but it's still going to feel light because of this 95% new skid in the Gen 5. It's going to side hill great. The deep snow performance is really exceptional, and you're going to be able to go at a slower speed. So if you're not a really fast, aggressive rider, the 165 is the most forgiving platform. And so since I have a 146 and a 154, this really rounds out the stable, and I'm going to be really excited. I anticipate following DJ Osborne, who is an expert level rider. He's going to be upside down in the creek. I'm going to side hill right over top of him. So follow along. This is going to be a lot of fun to ride in the mountains. I can't wait to show you.